What's going on, my good folks, my good people? Know what I mean? This is I'm back. Don G. I'm ready to do my first. This is my first long jane. I ain't did a long. The longest jane I did was probably 25 minutes. Know what I mean? So stick with me. This is my first over. I think I'm gonna do it. It's probably gonna be over an hour. Touch on a bunch of things in the culture, in the hip hop culture. Also, ahead of time, my store is up. Shopify. It's on Shopify. It's called Rooted and Fly. It's Rooted and Fly. Shopify.com. I'll put it in the description. Black owned brands. It's affiliated with black owned brands and HBCUs and Negro League. Just shit for our culture. Now I mean, you get on my website. It'll take you to a bunch of the black owned brands. You could get black owned brand clothing. Takes you to a lot of good shit. It's just getting started, so bear with me. But next month or two, it'll be plenty of vendors up there using it. I got 2 or 3 now, so bear with me. Um, what else? Okay, today's show we're gonna be talking about a bunch of shit. We're gonna get on the 20 best discographies in hip hop history. It's gonna be the first thing we get to. Get a little bit of R&B for you. We're gonna be talking about my state, my place, Virginia. And I mean, big VA shit. We're gonna be talking about how much we've contributed to R&B, especially. We did some to hip hop, but the R&B especially contributed crazy to the R&B space. Now, I mean, we're gonna get to that. Secondly, third, we're gonna get to Nas. Nas had an interview recently, and he was asked about Playboy Cardi, NBA YoungBoy. He was asked about doing a Super Bowl. He was asked about a Kendrick song. He was asked about a lot of bullshit I wouldn't have asked him personally. But the way he navigated made me think that he's just brilliant, and he's smart. He's able to, especially with all the features he did, he's able to talk to both sides of the coin, the young and the old, which is what I try to do on here too. So I want to salute Nas for that. We're gonna get on that too. But where we're gonna start is the 20 best discographies in hip hop history. Let me also inform you guys I did a poll. Not necessarily a poll. I asked a bunch of people that I talked to on X, some hip hop heads, the people I consider hip hop heads, music heads. It's a bunch of people. Actually, I'll even give you some of their tags. So if you want to go follow them and check them out, I'll give you the tags actually. At 100, at 40 URTY, at Beloved Bone, at T Love Speaks, at Therapy HH, at JN88 aka Relay, at Just Raleigh, at Infamous BX Don, at Tony the Dome, at Isaiah Silva. There's a bunch of people. So shout out to all them, salute all them. They know they really knowledgeable about hip hop too. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna start with the honorable mentions though. I'm starting the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions are people that got a couple votes, but it was about not. Those aren't the only people that chimed in either. Those are the ones I asked at first, but a lot of people chimed in. Salute to everybody that chimed in. So I'm gonna start with the 5 honorable mentions on here first. These people got a couple mentions, but didn't get the people that I included on the top 20 are people that I personally agree with, and that they got a bunch of votes. Like it was probably about 20, 25 people did list. Now way more than the people I just named and people that chimed in. So 3 people up here, the top 3 were on every list. I think one of them might have been off of one, but they was pretty much on every list. The other people in the top 10 to 12 were on most of the list. And it would be on mine. I'm not just listening to the people. I'm also doing my own list. Then after that, it's more people that got a decent amount of votes. I didn't. The people that I put on here pretty much all got some votes, and I agree with them. All right, so the first honorable mention will be MF Doom. It's crazy that he's only an honorable mention on here. It's a couple people that put him on their list, but not enough. The reason that he's an honorable mention is because he wasn't on enough. And to me, he has some decent work, but Mad Villainy stands so far above the rest of his work. Mad Villainy is probably a top 5, honestly. It could be top 5 hip hop project of all time. Mad Lib, a monster. You ain't gonna get too many. You ain't gonna get too many albums produced that well. Salute to Mad Lib. Mad Lib is a monster. Mad Villainy was one of them ones. It was really one of them ones. He could have made the top 20 just off of that alone, but yeah, I put him as an honorable mention. Another honorable mention will be Currency. Salute to Currency. Currency was on a couple people's list too. Like I said, he also, let me also make this clear. When I ask people their list, I only ask them to do 10. So that way I could take 20 out of the 10 and see where I could arrange everybody, know what I mean? But Currency was the next honorable mention. He made a couple of lists. He has a bunch of mixtapes. He personally was one I just added to the honorable mentions because he was so loved and everyone was mentioning him. But he has too many projects for me to too many that aren't great. He got a lot of good ones, but he got just as many ones that aren't great. So it's part of the problem of overextending yourself when you make too much music. Now sometimes all that shit ain't go hit. You hear me? All that ain't gonna hit. Next honorable mention will be Little Brother. They got a couple mentions in here. And I want to salute Little Brother from North Carolina. They are they could have made the list, but again, they didn't get enough votes. I'm not going to take too much time with the honorable mentions. I'm just running through them real quick. I took a little extra time with MF Doom because Mad Villainy is so fire. But I'm just going to take, just scroll through the rest of the honorable mentions. Little Brother was another one out of North Carolina. Also, another honorable mention, Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks put out one of my favorite projects this year, personally, AON3. But he only received, I think, he wasn't on most of the list. He wasn't on enough of them to be in the top 20. He has a very underrated discography, though. Shout out to Banks. AON3, like I said, is at least in my top 10, maybe top 5 projects of this year. Fire project. So salute to Banks. My other honorable mention is Biggie. And this hurts me because Biggie is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He got some votes. The reason I put him in the honorable mentions is because even though he has the best freshman and sophomore back-to-back album ever, he only has those two plus the Junior Mafia work. The rest of these people been putting in work for years and years and years and years and years. And no offense to Biggie, I know that it's not necessarily, you can't necessarily put that on him, but you kind of have to because he only made a couple projects. It's not necessarily, and I'm not saying he wouldn't want to make more, but we can only go based off what he did. Life After Death is in my top 5 hip hop projects all time. I said Mad Villainy might be, but Life After Death definitely is. Life After Death might be number 1. Fire. Fire, fire, fire. Ready to Die is fire. So salute Biggie, but he did not quite make the list. All right, now that we got the honorable mentions out the way, we're going to go to the people that are actually on this list. And we're going to start with The Game. Now, The Game, let me be clear too. 11 through 20 isn't necessarily in order. 10 through 1 is in order. 11 through 20 to me is not necessarily in order. They're just the names that would be anywhere between 11 and 20. Now, The Game, somewhat underrated discography. Now, I mean, it's overrated and underrated because people say he has all these classics, but they don't have the cultural cachet to really be classics. They don't. Then they're only loved by his fan base. They're not loved by all of hip hop. Not all these projects. Now he has the documentary He has Jesus Piece. He has Doctor's Advocate that are pretty loved, but after that, they're not all that loved. Now, some should get some more love, like the documentary Two, the documentary Two and a Half. LAX is fire. He put out some heat. He put out some heat. I'm not the biggest Jesus Piece fan, honestly. Too much, too many features. Now, I mean, I don't like when there's all them features on the joint. It's, I'm not real big on all them features, but the game will definitely make the number 20 slot here. Not number 20 slot, but he will be an 11 through 20. Salute the game. He don't get some love because he has a little his antics, but he definitely has one of the best discographies in hip hop history. Big salute to the game. I mean, straight out of Compton. Been in it since '05. He's talking about dropping another project this year or maybe next year. Game is fire. Like I said, he don't get as much love as he should, but salute to the game. All right. Next, West Side Gun. Now, West Side Gun is a odd ad here because a lot of people, he's kind of newer here, but West Side Gun's discography is crazy, especially when you include his Griselda work and the people that are on Griselda, the Conway and Benny, who are two of my favorite artists. Two of my favorite rappers. I really fuck with Conway and Benny. Honestly, I might fuck with Conway and Benny more than Gun. But Westside Gun got a bunch of votes on here. And Westside Gun just knows how to put an album together better than a lot of people. Whether it's Hitler Wears Hermes, whether it's Pray for Paris, whether he just got a lot of Supreme Blind Tail is my personal favorite Gun project. Just cold. That whole Jane is cold, but he released two pretty good projects this year too. His discography is rated properly. I'm not gonna say underrated or overrated because it is probably a top 20 discography in hip hop history. Now, if you want to say it's top 10, I'd argue down because there's other ones that have more impact on the culture. But Gun is one of them. He makes a whole bunch of fly raps that people imitate a lot. He made a lot of fly raps. He lifestyle rapper, but he still make D-boy music, and I love me some D-boy music. Now I mean, retired D-boy. So you know what I mean, that's it. That's how I love it. I love that the D-boy music. He and he's behind, like I said, a bunch of Griselda's greatest projects. He's behind a lot of that. So yeah, he definitely gets a spot. No, the only reason he doesn't get hired again on here to me is because he has a lot of like Currency, but not quite as bad. He has a lot of he has too many projects in a way. Not all of them are great, but then he has, like I said, Pray for Paris, Hitler Wears Hermes, a bunch of Hitler Wears Hermes. He has Fly God is an Awesome God. Fly God is an Awesome God too. Like I said, my personal favorite is Supreme Blind Tail. Fly God, Griselda Ghost was put together by him. He got an amazing discography, actually. I'm spending a little bit of time on him because he's one of my favorite artists up here, so I'm going to give him some extra love. Also, WCD, which is a Griselda project. Fire, they killed it. They killed that jank. So, a couple of these is classics. To me, Supreme Blind Tail is a classic. WWCD is a classic. Pray for Paris is a classic. That's three classics. And I don't call everything a classic. It's hard. These people up here got a bunch of classics, but when you get out of this top 20, 25 people, it's hard to put out a classic. Nope, it's not. We call everything a classic. Since 1980, I say it's probably been maybe 150 albums that are close to a classic at least. And that sounds like a lot, but in 45 years, it's not that many. That's pushing it. I say really, it's probably 75 to 90 undisputed classics. Now, I mean, where nobody, no matter what you say, no one's going to dispute it's a classic. Now, I don't know if he has any undisputed classics, which is why he's in the 11 through 20 range, too. All right, next, we're going to get to Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs, another one. spectacular discography. Straight out of Gary. Also, again, I'm a shout out where these people is from, because part of my thing with the culture is to shout out the real places, because these people come from real places that are deeply embedded in the culture. Not all of them are known. For some reason, niggas don't know about places unless they've been shouted out a bunch of times. So, Gun is from Buffalo. Salute to Buffalo. It's just as gutted as it get anywhere. Gibbs is from Gary, Indiana. Just as gutted as it get anywhere. Just because folks don't know about it, don't mean shit. All right. But yeah, back to Gibbs. He put out a good product this year too. Alfredo too. I'm not as big on it as a lot of people are, but Alfredo 2 is pretty fire. The first Alfredo is a classic, straight up. Bandana is one of the best projects ever to me. Another one by Madlib. Madlib needs some love. Madlib is the man. Skill wise, he might be the best producer in hip hop history. Skill wise, he doesn't have quite the catalog of everybody, but skill wise, he might be number one. You know, when people try to argue in sports, skill versus actual production, he would be one of those that has the production, but his skill even outweighs that. He's like a Kobe Bryant or a Kevin Durant, where they're probably not the best ever because they didn't accomplish as much as the people above them, but the skill set is insane. Probably the most skilled ever with the production. Shout out to Madlib. But yeah, like I said, Bandana, Alfredo, Pinata. Pinata is fire. A lot of people would say that's Freddie Gibbs' best project, but I like Bandana personally. I love Bandana. Got a lot of my favorite songs he's ever made on there. He also has You Only Die Once, Soul Separately. All of these is fire. The joint with Currency, which is one of the reasons Currency was on the almost made the list. He was an honorable mention. One of the reasons was because of Fetty. That gent was fire. You Only Live Twice. One of my favorite Freddie James. So You Only Live Twice is fire. But I fuck with Freddie all the way going back to the Realest Back 2 on the Jeezy tapes. I'm a huge Jeezy fan now, and them James Freddie was already killing, was already talking crazy. So you already knew he was gonna be something. He was on a track with Alley Boy too. I used to fuck with Alley Boy too. Not that I don't know more, but he had a run where he was really crazy with it. Rob Me a Nigga, Freddie Gibbs crazy on that jam. Freddie Gibbs had been nice for a long time. Babyface Killer was in 2012. It's crazy on that jam. So yeah, Freddie one of them. Some people might put him higher. He made quite a few top 10, but he didn't make his. The people that's in the top like 10 to 12 was on over half of everybody's list. Freddie Gibbs probably made, if 25 people did it, Freddie Gibbs probably made 8 of the top 10s. Know what I mean? But I fuck with his catalog, so I had to give him a shout out. Next, we have The Roots, including Black Thought solo albums. Now, I included that personally because you can't talk about The Roots and Black Thought and not talk about Cheat Codes or Streams of Thought, especially Volume 2. Whew! Streams of Thought, Volume 2 by Thought, crazy. Talking crazy on that jank. Cheat Codes is one of the best projects in the last 5 years. Crazy. Should be considered a classic, but again, it doesn't have that cultural cachet. A lot of people don't know about it. But to the hip-hop heads, Cheat Codes is definitely a classic. But this is more about the roots. We got to go back to Philadelphia Half-Life with the roots. Fire. Things Fall Apart was fire. Yeah, the Roots got a crazy catalog. They made a bunch of these lists too, like I said. Phrenology, How I Got Over. But the one that stands out, of course, is, like I said, The Tipping Point. We don't talk about The Tipping Point enough. The Tipping Point was crazy. We had a lot of good shit on there. Do You Want More? Their first project was crazy. But Philadelphia Half-Life is the jank that stand out. You hear me? That's that one that everyone fuck with, that everyone know about. To me, Philadelphia High Life and Cheat Codes are the best projects between him as a soloist and them as a group. Two of the best projects ever. Fire, just fire. They don't always get enough love and talk about, but people know. In hip-hop circles, people know about them. Straight out of Philly, salute to Philly. Philly's one of my favorite places. I talk about a lot of cities I fuck with, but I fuck with Philly a different way. Philly, one of my favorite places to go to. I'll put that out there. Philly to Bay, Houston, probably my three favorite places in the U.S. to travel. And I stay in the D.C. area. This is my favorite place in the world right now. I love D.C. You know what I mean? But outside of, I'm from Virginia. You know what I mean? But I live up here by D.C. I'm still in Virginia, but right by D.C. But my favorite places outside of here to travel is definitely Houston, Philly, and the Bay, as far as in the U.S. All right, we're gonna keep this going. Next on the list is Common. Now, some might think this is low, but again, he didn't make everyone list. He made a bunch of them, but he didn't make everyone's. Now, Common, I don't want to say it's underrated, but what's underrated about Common is how good he is in beef. He beefed with Ice Cube and beef with Drake, and to me came out on top in both of them. So, Common is elite as a beef. He's an elite in beef. Straight out the Shy. Shout out to the Shy. It's another place I love, but shout out to the Shy. My people, Teles, she is from the Shy. She's one of my favorite people to collab with and talk to about music. Hopefully she get on the show. She will get on the show one day. Or I'm gonna fly out to Chicago. So I'm gonna have to give. But shout out to her. She knows a lot about music too. You gotta give her some props. Now Common has Resurrection, One Day It All Makes Sense, like Water for Chocolate, Electric Circus, B, just all type of projects. B is his one that is a certified classic across all. Everyone's gonna say that's a classic no matter what. A lot of people will say like Water for Chocolate, but B is the one that the masses will say is a classic. I think this is when we're getting into the first. This when we're getting into like this is definitely a classic type deal when we start getting talking about Common because he has classics. Like Water for Chocolate is very close. My favorite project from Common is definitely B. Universal Mind Control is good. Last was it? Yeah, last year he put out the Auditorium. Fire. Like Common still got it. Now I mean he one of them. Common still got it. I don't think he's never not gonna have it. He also was in that 11 through 20 range, best discography ever. Salute to Common. Okay, next we're gonna get to Ice Cube. Ice Cube has two certified classics, which should mean that he would be higher, but after his first three albums, his musically he fell off. He became way much more of an actor. Not completely his fault because you get that bread. No, I mean I can't hate on it, but I'm saying if he would have continued at his pace from NWA days, because you got to remember he wrote all of Straight Outta Compton basically. He was the writer on there. So if you include all of that straight his NWA shit, that's another classic. So, but if you include that plus his first two projects, America's Most Wanted, Death Certificate. If he stays on that trajectory, he's probably top five. Not gonna lie, because he couldn't miss. He couldn't miss. Some people argue those are the two best West Coast albums ever, or at least they both could be in the top 10 at least. So big shout out to Ice Cube. Another one straight out of coming out of the West Side, LA, Compton. Yeah, big salute to him. All right. All right. Next is one of my personal favorites. I'm mad he didn't get no higher than this. Let me be clear. He's in my top 10 discography. Rock Marciano. I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. The best pen ever, in my opinion. Black Thought is up there too. Black Thought is probably top five-ish pen. Lupe, Brownsville, Kai. Probably be my Mount Rushmore as a pens ever. You know, Black Thought, Lupe, Brownsville, Kai, and Rock Marciano. But Rock Marciano to me is number one. Incredible pen. He put out a project this year with Preem that was fire called A Coldest Profession. Has my favorite verse of the year as far as lyrics go. Execution style, the second verse on there. Elephant's Man's Bones is fire. Marcialago is fire. Reloaded is a classic. Marsburg is a classic. I think a lot of these gangster classics. To me, he got about 5 classes, but I'm a Rock Marcy fan now, I mean, so I'm biased there, but really he probably got one that's really a classic, Reloaded. That's a classic to the masses. But to me, he got about five of them James, because he yeah, I give about five of his projects 10 streams. You know, I do streaming, so I do a system where I do streams, not kind of like the Source did Mike's, I do streams. But he got about five of them that are just fire. Everything he makes is good though. Everything he makes is good. He did projects with Alchemist. Shout out to Alchemist because I didn't shout him out because he did a whole joint with Gibbs too. I didn't shout out the Alchemist. He did Alfredo 1 and 2. Alchemist is a big part of this too. I ain't shout him out enough, but fire. That's number 13. Not necessarily number 13, but he's 11 through 20 in the range for like best all time discographies. Now we're getting into where it was more like it gets a little harder the last 12 because all of these people were top 10 candidates, so it gets a lot harder. We're gonna get to Ghostface Killer next. Now, he could easily be in the top 10 based on how they did this. A lot of people voted for Ghostface, more than I even assumed was gonna vote for him. Crazy discography. Supreme Clientele 2 just came out. He had the first Supreme Clientele, which was fire, a classic. Ghostface is odd here because he's also on 36 Chambers. He's also on the Purple Tape with Ray, the Chef, or Only Built for Cuban Links, whatever you want to call it. So Ghostface is a little. He got projects everywhere. He got all type of fire everywhere, and all angles you could look at and think about, and he just has it. Ghostface just got it. Iron Man, fire. Some people say that's a classic. Ghostface carried the Wu for real. When Ghostface was the one that carried them musically after a while. He was the one. Iron Man, then Supreme Clientele, back-to-back classics. Supreme Clientele is a definite classic. Like what did I say? Like a master. The whole hip hop community would agree that's a classic. But he also has Wallaby Champ, Fish Scale. He got a bunch of fires. So even later in his career, Sour Soul, 36 Seasons, he kept putting out some heat. But a lot of people had him in their top 10. He didn't make enough top 10s for me to put him up there, but if you have him there, I have no argument with it. Now, the next two is, I'm going to do them kind of together but separate. We're going to do Jeezy and T.I. Now, I had Jeezy in my top 10 easily because Jeezy in my top 5 favorite rappers of all time. My favorite trap artist ever. So yeah, but T.I. and Jeezy made a bunch of these. Didn't make enough to get all, like they weren't definite locks for the top 10, so I'm gonna do them together as 11 or 10, 10 or 11. They're right at that edge. To me, Jeezy first 3 projects, classics, all 3 of them. Let's Get It, The Recession, Inspiration. T.I. from 01 to 08, fire. I'm Serious, Urban Legend, Trap Music, King, T.I. vs. T.I.P., Paper Trail. They just fired in, but Jeezy stands out to me. He was in my top 10 because of the mixtape discography. Best mixtape discography of all time, in my personal opinion. Now, if you want to argue that it's a Lil Wayne or Future or something like that, I get it. But to me, it's Jeezy because he excelled in every aspect of making mixtapes. He did the mixtapes with using other people's beats completely. Did the mixtapes, really started the mixtape trend of putting brand new music on your whole mixtape when Streets is watching. And has a couple of the best mixtapes of all time. Trap or Die, Can't Ban the Snowman, Real is Back. Real is Back 2. My personal favorite mixtape of all time, The Last Laugh. What else he got? Trap or Die 2. And his discography, even as he aged, was still good. He just put out a project that's on the lower end of his discography recently, but last year he put out a double album that was fire. He put out a tape with drama that was fire a couple years ago. Like Jeezy still in this part of his career is still producing. But like I said, his first three albums to me are all classics. He got a bunch of classic mixtapes. To me, Jeezy got the most classics of everybody because of the mixtapes. Just got like 5 mixtapes as classic. You got about 10 stream projects because he got 5, 6 mixtapes as classic and 3 albums. You know what I mean? So I think he should have been higher. But again, I'm doing this for not just him. I had a poll and I wanted to not just be completely biased. Know what I mean? And then T.I., he has the Leak mixtape. He has Down with the King mixtape. He also has, like I said, all them albums. Trap Music, one of my favorite albums ever. Urban Legend is Heat. To me, those are his 2 that are universal classics. Jeezy's universal classics, 2 are his first 3. Well, really his first 1. His first 1 is a universal classic. Some people argue the Recession, but the first one is his universal classic. But T.I.'s Trap Music and Urban Legend, I think, are both universal classics. I love Paper Trail. His thing is after T.I. went to prison, I'm going to get into this one day. I'm going to get into why prison really fucks up rappers' careers. No one really does better after they go to prison. But T.I. after prison never produced at the same level he produced at before he went to prison. Not even close. He's only had probably 2 good albums since he came out of prison. And that's because he was shooting amazingly before that. Before that, he was on a top 10, top 5 trajectory, not just discography, just in general. He would have been like Atlanta type, Jay-Z type shit. Business-wise, everything. He was on that trajectory, and in prison, that gun shit really fucked him up. But salute to T.I. Jeezy and T.I. is both from the A. I don't know if I shouted out everybody else's place, too. I was supposed to keep shouting them out. So let me go back and see. I don't know if I shout out everybody. Well, Ghostface Killer is from Staten Island in New York. I didn't shout them out. Rock Marcy is from Long Island in New York. Didn't shout him out. Shout that out either. But yeah, T.I. from the A. I think Jeezy's actually from Macon. But that's all Georgia, know what I mean? And Jeezy's been in the A a while too, know what I mean? So shout out to Georgia, shout out to the A. I used to spend a lot of time in the A, so shout them out. Next, we get into Ghostface. Now we get into a Tribe Called Quest. This is the 10th spot. Now this is the top 10. These people made a bunch of these lists, and everyone that they didn't make, a lot of these, like Tribe didn't make everyone's list, but he made a bunch of honorable mentions. I mean, they made a bunch of honorable mentions too. Tribe Called Quest would be the bottom of the top 10. This is when I start doing it more in order too. I'm sorry, Jeezy and T.I. was 11 and 12, however you want to order it. They would have been 11 and 12. Tribe Called Quest starts off the top 10. Now, they came out, they got 2 classics. Midnight Marauders and The Low End Theory are both definitely classics. They only have, I think they only got 1, 2, 3, they got 6, 7 albums. But 3 of them is 10 streams, know what I mean? Like, they can't miss. They have if they, like kind of like Ice Cube, if they kept making music or if they kept at it, they would have probably had easily been in the top 5. Beats, Rhyme, and Life, The Love Movement. A lot of groups are up here too. We got to talk about that too. Groups are needed in rap because a lot of groups are up here. My 2 favorite albums that came, three of my 5 favorite albums that came out this year are duos. Mobb Deep, Clips, and The Step Brothers, which is Starlito and Don Trip. They came out this year. Duos and groups is needed in rap. Yeah, they're definitely needed. A Tribe Called Quest is one of the duos that makes it, but we have, I think, 4 groups or duos that make it in the top 10. So that shows you how important it is to have, and then the Roots was in the top 20, you know what I mean? So that shows how important it is. Tribe is from Queens, New York. Queens get the money, that's what they say, you know what I mean? Shout out to Queens. Big shout out to Queens, triple salute to Queens. All right, next, that's the 10th spot. This is where it got tricky because the next 3 are all these right here are groups. This is where it got tricky. I'm gonna go with Mob Deep. Mob Deep is the next slot. It was hard to do between them, Clips, and Outkast. It was real hard to get between to pick which one I was gonna do. Between from my 9, 8, and from my 9, 8, from my 8, 7, and 6. But I'm sorry, Tribe Called Quest was. I'm sorry, Tribe Called Quest was 10. No, it was 9. Jeezy and T.I. was 11 or 10. I'm sorry, I'm messing my count up. But we're in the top 10. Mob Deep just put out one of the best projects this year with Infamous to most is a top 3 projects of rap album of all time. It is to me the best representation of New York hip hop ever. If you hear it, it sounds like some New York hip hop. Now I mean, they make me think of New York hip hop even more than Illmatic. That's what when I envision New York and the gritty and the street shit and just New York as a whole, I think it's Infamous. Now I'm not from there, so don't get me. But I've been to New York a bunch of times. I fuck with folks in New York. A lot of my people that did all this, now I mean, they New York folks, now I mean, so. They also Hell on Earth. This is where it gets crazy because they got, I think, 3 classics. Hell on Earth, The Infamous, and Murder Music to most are all classics. So this is where it gets to the people that got 2 and they got 3-ish classics to the masses. Now, to the normal fan that likes these people, a lot of these folks I've already mentioned got 3 or 4, 5, to have them in the classic, but to the normal fan, they got 3. Hell on Earth, Murder Music, and The Infamous. And The Infamous is a top, like I said, 5 project all time. Might be top 3. To not just to me, again to the masses. They fire. They'll take the number 8 spot. Next will be Clips in the number 7 spot. I'm putting them higher because they got more production, because I also include Pusha. A lot of people did this too. We include Pusha's solo music as part of the Clips too. So, Laura Willing, classic. They just put out a classic. There was not a classic yet. I don't call project classics yet, but Let God Sort 'Em Out will go down to be a classic. Hell Have No Fury is one of my favorite albums of all time. Their best project to me is easily Hell Have No Fury. But then you also know they got the mixtape. We Got It For Cheap. 2 is one of the 10 best mixtapes of all time. We Got It For Cheap, the whole catalog. I think it's 3 of them. Is one of the best mixtape series of all time. Like the Clips got it. And Pusha T got My Name Is My Name and Daytona, which are also classics. So Pusha and the Clips got it. They're underrated, but Big VA shit, 7. Well, they're not underrated. They're rated properly, finally. Big VA shit. Salute to the Clips. Salute to Pusha. I've probably seen them 3 times this year. I'm going to go see them again. They're going to be in Virginia Beach the 26th and 27th. I'm definitely going to go see them again. We also got King Push, Darkest Before Dawn, Fear God too. He has his own solo mixtapes like Pusha and the Clips. Malice also has solos, but they don't really get added like that. But they just hard. Clips is hard. They're getting their just due. They finally getting the love that they deserve. They also have, like I said, Pusha has Daytona, which is a certified classic. Hell Have No Fury and Lord Willing. So they might have 4. So that's why I'm going to put them over Mob too. They got 4 classes probably. Now, most people would put Mob Deep and Outkast as the number 1 and 2 duo. I got it as the Clips, but it's a little VA bias, know what I mean? So I'll be 100 there, but they're number 7 on my list. Now is when it gets real crazy because now we have Outkast at number 6. People will say they got 4 or 5 classics. And not just me, I'm saying that's what the masses say. They got a lot of people think everything they made is a classic. The Speaker Box and Love Below, Stankonia, Aquemini, Aquemini is one of my favorite projects ever. That's my favorite Outkast project. A lot of people say ATLians, which is also a classic the most. Southern Cadillac playalistic music. The Outkast, to most people, put out 5 straight classics. You can't beat that. They could have definitely been in the top 5. Let me be clear here, too. Outkast only missed, I think, 2 people's list. Out of everybody that did, they only missed two people's list. Clips and Mobb Deep were probably 15 or 16 out of 25 lists. Outkast was a big jump from them as far. They only missed, I think, two people's lists, maybe three. And on those lists, I think there were still honorable mentions. And they were only saying they didn't want to add them because they didn't have enough material. And that was only, I think, two people what they missed. And then one person didn't even put Outkast. They just put Big Boy because Big Boy, part of Outkast, and also has a lot of material by itself. So Outkast is probably the greatest duo of all time to most folks. And yeah, we're going to give Outkast they just do. Outkast will be next. They're number 6. Now we get where it gets real crazy at in the top 5. The top 5 of all time. Number 5, Kendrick Lamar. Now, people don't want to say it. Kendrick is now a GOAT, a legend. He's in GOAT conversations. He's becoming one of them people that they compare people to. When you become great, they always compare everybody to you. So anytime anyone does that, is he's better than Kendrick or Kendrick better than him. He's gotten to that conversation, and they only do that with the greats. And Kendrick has become one of them. Now, I'm not huge on GNX. That's my least favorite project from him, and that's still 7.5 streams. It's my least favorite one of his projects. But Section 80, fire. Probably everything else he made is like 8.5, 9 streams. People think it says Kendrick got 4 or 5 classics. The masses, or at least 3. But Section 80, fire. Good Kid, Mad City, one of the best projects of all time. Might be the best album of all time since 2012. Not of all time, but since 2012, might be the best hip-hop album that's been just dropped. Maybe since 2010. If you go to the last 15 years, that might be the best hip-hop album that's dropped. Good Kid, Mad City is crazy. But then he came even crazier with To Pimp a Butterfly, which culturally is even more important. People don't care about all that pro-black shit. I love it. The jazz music, I love it. Mortal Man, who makes Mortal Man? Now, I mean, Kendrick discography is crazy. That's 2 back-to-back classics. Then he hits you with Damn, which most people would consider a classic, and Untitled Unmastered, which doesn't get the love it deserves. Fire. Crazy tracks on there. Untitled Unmastered is fire. That's probably 8 streams, 8.5 streams. To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City, both 10 easily. Damn to me is actually a little lower, probably 8.5, but the masses would consider it a classic. Damn's highs are crazy though. Fear, shit like that is... Fear's one of the best written songs ever. He has those on all his albums though. People acted like he fell apart when he put out Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. My 3rd favorite Kendrick project after Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly. And Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, if it didn't have like 3 or 4 skips on it, it could be his second best, but it got a couple of skips. To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City don't got no skips. Everyone don't consider it a classic. A lot of people do, so, but I love that album. I don't know why people hated on it. They hated on it. GNX to a lot of people is a classic. I think it's going to be considered one to the masses. It's probably going to be his 4th one. Yeah, after Damn, it's probably going to be his 4th one to the masses. I'm not huge on GNX, but still fire. This is his worst project. It's a 7.5 at worst. No, I mean, that's at worst. That's his worst tape. It's fire on there too. Reincarnated is crazy. Whacked Out Murals is crazy. Kendrick is definitely one of them. He is in those conversations. He's like, that's number 5 out of the best discographies of all time, and he's still making high quality music. He's still in his prime. The rest of these people ain't in their prime no more. Now, number 4 is Mr. West. Mr. West could have been top 3, but the top 3 didn't miss any list. They didn't miss nobody's list. Kanye, again, missed maybe 1 or 2 people's list. And personally, for me, his discography fell off really bad after 2010. After 2010, he only has 1 project I like. Well, 2. Donda's cool. Donda's fire. And The Life of Pablo. Everything after that since 2010, you could toss that whole out the window. Some people like Yeezus, I don't. Some people like Ye, I don't. You could toss that shit out the window to me. But before that... he has the best probably 5 album run ever. I wasn't that big on 808s and Heartbreaks, but My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, one of the greatest albums of all time, one of my favorite. Late Registration is my favorite Kanye album, even more than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Graduation, College Dropout, just fire. Just came out the gate swinging. And then Watch the Throne with Hove. Just Kanye got one of them crazy, crazy, crazy discography. Salute to Kanye. Oh, I didn't keep telling y'all what everyone was funny either. Kendrick is also from Compton, LA. Salute to them. Ye is from the Chi. Another one from the Chi. Outkast is from the A. Clips is from VA. Big VA shit 757. And Mobb Deep is from Queens. Queensbridge, one of the most recognized spots in hip hop history now. All right, now we're gonna get to the big three. And these are the GOATs of rap, period, to me, because one, they made everybody's list. They're on everyone's list up here. Everybody that I asked, they made the list. They're the big three also because they're just the GOATs. They're the best rappers of all time to me, the greatest rappers of all time to me personally. They're Nas, Tupac, and Jay-Z. Now order them how you want. I'm gonna just do them all together. Best discographies ever. Nas has 8 projects that are classic or close. He has Life is Good. He has Magic 1. He has KD 3. And these just came out, a couple of these just came out recently. He's put down another project at the end of the year with Preem. He got Illmatic. He got Stillmatic. He got It Was Written. He got The Lost Tapes. And he got Godson. Fire. That 8 album right there is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm sorry. I forgot. Before we get to them, I forgot who actually was number 4. I knew I was missing somebody. Number 4, sorry, Kendrick is number 6. I'm sorry about that. Number 4 is Scarface. Scarface has the best discography of all time to me personally because he didn't have no duds. Everybody else on here has at least one project that's under 8. Scarface, all 8.5 or better. Every project. 3 classics, The Untouchables, The Diary, The Fix. No duds. He got voted on every list except, he didn't get voted on every list. He got voted on most of them. He might have missed 5, but to me, he personally has a better discography than Ye and Kendrick because they have duds. Well, Kendrick don't really have a dud, but he doesn't have as much music. I think Scarface got 11 albums and no duds. Kanye got a lot of duds. So to me, he would be next. Now, sorry about that. Now, let's get back to this. Nas, Scarface, shout out to Houston. I'll do a whole Scarface pod. Scarface is my top 5 all time anyway. I'll do a whole pod on Scarface one day. But Nas, like I said, 8 projects is crazy. Definitely in the big 3 of the top 3 all time with him, Tupac, and Jay-Z. 8 projects, like I said. Life is Good, Stillmatic, Godson, It Was Written, Illmatic, KD 3, Magic, and The Lost Tapes. That's 8 projects that's classic or close to it. Jay-Z, 2 duds out of maybe 11 or 12 albums. Jay-Z and Tupac, my 2 favorite rappers of all time. Let me make this clear. They're my 2 favorite rappers of all time. So it's a little biased there, but everyone made it on all 3 of them was on everybody's list. Nas, Jay-Z, and Tupac. Jay-Z put out my favorite album ever, The Blueprint, my favorite rap album ever. Reasonable Doubt's in my top 10. It was in my lifetime, just fire. Shit is not it's underrated as hell because them singles was trash. Hov, I don't know what you was doing with them singles. Outside of Imaginary Players, I don't know what you was doing with them singles. It was trash, but then even Blueprint 2 is fire. Blueprint 3 is fire. Like, Hov don't be putting out bad shit. One of the top 3 discographies of all time, he made everybody's list. Nas, Hov, and Pac made everyone's list, like I said. Next, I'm going to talk about Pac. The GOAT. It's my GOAT. Best 3 album run in hip-hop history. From Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me, to 7 Day Theory. Put out the only classic Posthumous album to me, which when I say posthumous, I mean it was made when he was dead, Until the End of Time. Fire. Thug Life. Fire. Like, Pac got 5, to me, classics. To most people, Jay-Z got 4. Nas got 4 or 5. So, yeah, they all, like, these people at the top is just, they goes for a reason. Now, let me run through this top 10 again so everyone is clear who was the top 10. We had The Tribe Called Quest. We had Mobb Deep. We had Clips. we had Outkast, we had Ye, we had Kendrick, we had Scarface, we have Nas, we have Hove, and we have Tupac. Those are the top 10 discographies of all time, not just voted by me, but also polled by about 25 other people that listed theirs. And thanks again to all those that helped me on X. Okay, now let's get to the next thing we're going to talk about. Virginia and our R&B influence and shit we did for R&B. Again, the passing of D'Angelo was super sad. It's just sad. It's crazy. He's one of the GOATs, one of the greatest ever. He put out 3 projects, 3 R&B albums, all classics, all fire. Voodoo is the best R&B album of all time to me. My favorite personally. So we're gonna start there. D'Angelo, shout out to Richmond, did it. D'Angelo was one of them. Teddy Riley, one of the best producers, just everywhere, one of the best songwriters, straight out VA2. Then we got Mr. Brown, Chris Brown, on a stadium tour as we speak. Just drops nothing but fire. He's been at it for 2 decades. He just fire. We got all the R&B contributions we have. Virginia is top 3 states, if not top 2, if not the best all time in R&B production. Then we got Trey Songz out of Petersburg. Salute to Petersburg. That's where I grew up, in that area down there, Petersburg, Hopewell, Prince George, Colonial Heights, all that, and back and forth between there and Newport News and Hampton. I mean, but then my stomping ground. Salute to Mr. Songz, Trey Songz. I mean, then we got to get to Missy and Timberland with Tweet. I don't know why Timberland kept Tweet on the back burner for so long. Southern Hummingbird is the best R&B album by a female of all time, and I'll stand on that. Southern Hummingbird and Voodoo are the best albums to me, of all time. To me. But I'm 35. I'm not real. That was my time. I was like 10, 12 when them James came out. So that's more my. But to me, you don't get no better than that. Okay. Then we have Timberland, like I said, they both worked with Aaliyah, great R&B. Genuine, great R&B. Keisha Cole for Missy. Everything we contributed to R&B is not talked about enough. D'Angelo, Teddy Riley, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Missy, Timberland. Like I said, helped put on Aaliyah, Justin Timberlake, Genuine, Tweet, Keisha Cole. Like we didn't with the R&B. Like I said, Chris Brown right now is still doing it in his prime on a stadium tour. Big salute to Chris Brown, Tappahannock. Big salute to Missy, Pistol City, Portsmouth, Timberland out the beach. Know what I mean? D'Angelo from Richmond. You know what I mean? Salute to all them. Trey Songz from the Bird. Salute to all 804 to 757 shit. You hear me? But yeah, we go fuck with all of them. That we had to hit on that. Now the last portion of what we're gonna hit on today is Nas's interview. Nas is the perfect example of how to age and work with the OGs and still not shit on the youngins. Them niggas asked him a dumbass question about Playboy Cardi and Youngboy. He called them rock stars and said they're needed in hip hop on some non-hating shit. That's what you need to do as the OGs. Don't hate on them. Appreciate what they bring to the table and say they have a place too. Call them rock stars. He know what he's doing. Even though it was a dumbass question to ask Nas about Playboy Cardi and fucking Youngboy. But the way he navigated was amazing. He's been on a legendary feature run for Mass Appeal. Legendary. He's hit on all these features. He was on features with Ghostface. He did a feature for Ghostface. Raekwon the Chef. He's on Big L's project coming out. He did a feature for Clips. He did 3 features for Mobb Deep. He's on Slick Rick. He was part of Slick Rick's project doing features there. De La Soul, just everywhere. Just this shit, Nas is everywhere. Further in his GOAT case. He's already top 3 all time at worst, know what I mean? So he's been everywhere. Yeah, he's fucking with everyone. Like I said, he's doing it the best way he can do it. He's working with the OGs while still not shitting on the young niggas. That's all I be telling the OGs to do. Do the music for your age range, but if they do ask you some dumb shit about the young niggas, you gotta show love instead of hating. That'll make them respect you more, man. Know what I mean? Yeah, Cardi and Young Boy is rock stars. I don't listen to Cardi all like that. I fuck with Young Boy, but I don't listen to Cardi all like that. But I respect and salute everything he bring to the game. So salute to Nas, man. That's the last part. One more time, I'm gonna run through these best discographies. The honorable mentions were MF Doom, Currency, Little Brother, Lloyd Banks, and Biggie. The 11 through 20, 20 to 11 was The Game, West Side Gun, Freddie Gibbs, The Roots, Ice Cube, Common, Rock Marciano, Jeezy, T.I., Ghostface Killer. 10, and that wasn't in order, just the people that made that. Then 10 through 1 was Tribe Called Quest, Mobb Deep, Clips, Outkast, Ye, Kendrick, Scarface. The big three, the three best discographies in hip hop history were Tupac, Jay-Z, and Nas. Lastly, I want to say like and subscribe. Visit my website. My website is rootedinfly.shopify.com. Nothing but black-owned brands up there, nothing but black-owned designers. We also got like state shit, not mean like Virginia, wherever you from. We do Carolina, New York, ATL, Boston. Where you from? Memphis, Ohio. Any kind of shirt you want, I mean, to rep your state, rep your hood, rep your city, whatever it is, I mean, rep that shit to the fullest. I mean, that's what we here for the culture, for the urban areas, for niggas that's really from the culture, that's moved around in the culture, that's part of this shit, know what I mean? So, what else? That's really it. I was trying to, that's it. I was trying to give y'all about an hour's worth of content. But that's it. Signing off here. This is Rooted in Fly. I'm Dom G. Oh yeah. Oh, check out my Substack. I'm gonna put all this into a magazine article. I'm also gonna put, also on my Substack, I did 15 album reviews, including Cardi B, Jeezy, all the R&B that came out this year, Bryson Tiller, Giveon, everyone that came out this year with some R&B, I put them up there too. I did a Substack for that. What else? I'm gonna put my Instagram handles up here. I'm gonna put my TikTok handle up here. I don't got a Facebook. I'm gonna put I set my X handle. What else I'm gonna put up here? My Substack handle is already on this page. Yeah, if you get a chance, check out my Substack, man. There's some good shit up there. Some good shit. I'm talking some good shit. I review every single album that came out this year. I'm almost done. Then I'm gonna start going to the past. We're gonna hit catalog by catalog, by person. We're gonna hit all of them. I'm talking about we're gonna hit Slick Rick, we're gonna hit Rakim, we're gonna hit KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, LL, then we're gonna hit the 90s, hit Tribe Called Quest, Mos Def, Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Master P, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Snoop. Then we're gonna hit the 2000s with 50, The Game, Luda, Nelly, T.I., Jeezy. We hit the trap rappers like Jeezy and Gucci and them. We're gonna hit Gotti, Boosie. We're gonna hit who else? We're gonna hit niggas like Rocco, 2 Chainz. We reviewing everything, all the mixtapes, all the albums. Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, we're gonna do the blog era, Big Sean, Wiz Khalifa, J. Cole, Currency. We're gonna hit Freddie Gibbs. We hit every single part of hip hop. We do the lyricists, Rock Marcy, Black Thought, Lupe. Then we're gonna do the new people, the Griseldas, everyone in Griselda, Benny, Rome Streets. Also salute to Nas for his shout out to Rome Streets. Rome Streets is probably the coldest nigga out in New York right now. I don't know why. Rome Streets is told God Cooks. I don't know why they don't push them niggas like. The same thing in Virginia though. We got some cold niggas that don't push like that either. We got some niggas that's real cold. Wild Boy YWR, cold out of Norfolk. Niggas don't get pushed, but yeah, Rome Streets need to get a little bit of a push. Salute to Nas for shouting bro out though, cause bro is cold. All right, that's the last thing I'm saying. That's the last thing I'm saying. Signing out. Dom G. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Rooted and Fly. Check out all the things and the links down below. Yeah, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I am out.